Hey, horror fans, thanks for joining me for the very first episode of Talk Horror with HorrO. So, what is this show going to be about? Well, I'll get to that in a few minutes, but first, a better question is, so you may have found this video through HorrO's Gory reviews, or PromoteHorror.com, or maybe you just found it in general. Either way, I'm going to basically start from the beginning and work towards those things. To start, let's see, I became a horror fan after watching Freddy. Nightmare on Elm Street has always been one of my favorites, and he got me started. After that, you got the Jasons, the Michaels, the Leatherfaces, and on and on. So yes, I am a slasher fan first and foremost. Really enjoy them, blood and guts all the way. So I would say around the time of The Strangers came along, I really got the urge to write. I thought the movie was really well done, but very simple, and I said I can do that too. So I didn't know where to begin. I had too many ideas. Screenplays seemed very difficult. Do I want to write a book? I don't know. So I just decided, let me review horror movies. I love horror. Let's do that. So HorrO's Gory Reviews was born, and that's been about 10 years going strong. And so I started doing here and there reviews and so forth, but I still wanted to write, so I did the Dog Days in Zombieville, which was basically another blog but also a journal, and it was the journal of Max Wagner and his story in Zombieville. And no, if anybody's ever caught that, Max is not dead. I just stopped writing. Yes, for a very good reason. I'll get to that in a second. But one day, hopefully, I'll get to continue that. But for now, it is what it is. So I continued with HorrO's Gory Reviews, and one thing that happened not long into it was I started getting requests for people wanting to put press releases on the site and for me to review books and crowdfunding and all this stuff, and I was like, I didn't expect any of that. All I want to do is have some fun, talk a little horror. I set up the social media for the blog and had fun meeting people that way too, but didn't expect all this other stuff. And it really, it was a good thing because it really opened my eyes to more horror out there. Because before that, I had only watched horror basically in theaters, VHS, whatever was on cable. A whole new world was about to open up of horror for me, and then for the world in general too, with social media. So I was trying to do the Dog Days in Zombieville. I was trying to do the blog. People kept asking me for this and that, and I was like, I don't have a place for this on the site. So I thought about it, and I was like, oh, well, people are just looking for a better way to promote horror, or a place to promote horror. So did some research, and Promote Horror was born. So yes, I am the evil mastermind behind PromoteHorror.com as well. So I'll just leave it at that. So now I've decided, after 8 years of Promote Horror, to come out of the woodwork a little bit. And I guess you can kind of blame that more on the podcast that I joined, Where the Scary Things Are. I joined that, and I got to talk horror. And if you've listened to that or heard me on that, you know that I start every episode with a question for my co-host and also for the listeners. So I found myself wanting to talk more about that. I had limited time on the show. Everybody gives their opinion and so forth, and then I run down the news. But sometimes I want to talk more about the question I asked, but there's just no time to on the show. So I thought, okay, well, I'm not going to start a podcast because that's way beyond my knowledge of doing things. So I said, let me come to YouTube and let me do something on here. So I'm here to talk horror with you guys. So basically, do a few episodes here and there, and it's going to be a platform for me just to talk about what's going on. I spend a lot of time promoting horror or reviewing movies, but I really don't get into what's going on and expressing my opinion on things that are happening. So this is going to be my avenue to do that. Talk about things that are going on in the genre. It's not just to sit here and talk about what movie is doing this and that and so forth, but what's going on around the horror world and so forth, and my opinion on things. And the plan is also to bring guests on as well and have them join in the conversation as well. So it just won't be talking horror with HorrO all the time. I hope to have some guests on and talk with them and get their opinions on things too. So, yes, if you've listened to the podcast, you may guess what one of the first things I want to talk about is. But I promise you, it won't be the first official episode. I'm going to try to hold off on that as long as possible and talk about all kinds of things. But the podcast is definitely a good place to go to if you want to get a clue about what I want to talk about or what's in my head. So with that, I'll just wrap this up, and I thank you for your time and staying here with me and getting introduced to me and introduced to what is to come. And of course, I welcome your comments. Part of this is to talk horror with HorrO, so I want you guys to participate as well. So in the comment section, please comment. And you'll know where to find me on social media. That'll be all down below. And of course at the blog or at Promote Horror. If you want to talk to me through that, that's fine. All the information will be down below, so you can catch me on any of that. Talk to me there too as well, not just here. And hopefully maybe I'll do some live stuff either in the future on YouTube or Twitter, maybe Facebook, one of those things, as I get more used to being face to face with you guys. So again, thank you for your time, and we'll see when episode 2 is coming. I already know what I want to talk about, and I hope you guys will like it and join me in the conversation.